Hey there, Bobcat Nation. Al Weston here. It's time for another Bobcat Coach's Corner. As the leaves change and my lawn turns dead, that must mean it's time for the postseason for Georgia College soccer. And it'll be our first show of the season. We're excited to have the head coach, Hope Clark, and a pair of seniors, as senior day is coming up this weekend in Rebekah, Autry, and Lindsey, Knott. So we've got that full show coming at you, and it's coming at you right now. Hey Bobcat Nation, we're here for another Bobcat Coach's Corner. Got head coach Hope Clark with us. We're going to talk some soccer. Thanks for being with us, Hope.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Interesting part of the season for you. We're getting down to the nitty and the gritty of it as we head into the postseason coming up next week, and hopefully with those fingers crossed. Got a big match coming up Saturday. Yeah. Give us a little synopsis of how the season has run so far for you and you know what we're posed with this upcoming weekend.
Okay, well, you know, we've had a very difficult schedule once again. It's actually ranked, I think, 6th in the country as far as strength of schedule. And, you know, it's put us to the test for sure. You know, we've just had a lot of just uncontrollable things that have happened, a lot of season-ending injuries, some career-ending injuries that have really affected us. But all in all, you know, with all the adversity, the girls have really come together and are playing their best soccer right now. So no better time than to play our best soccer at this point. And, you know, they had a great week of practice going into Montevallo. And that was a great road win for us and a much-needed win to keep us in playoff contention. And then last night against Georgia Southwestern to pick up another 3 points was huge for us. And another great game. Got a lot of minutes on some on all the players, actually, and a lot of the young ones. And then certainly a huge game with Flagler on Saturday. This is a win-or-go-home scenario for us. So potentially either, you know, with the W, you either get the 8th seed or the 7th seed.
So in essence, this match coming up Saturday, again, senior day at 3 p.m. out at Bobcat Field, we're talking about pretty much a play-in type of scenario, are
Absolutely,
we not?
absolutely.
And you've been in that kind of scenario for about a week and a half here and have responded well. I mean, what does it say about your squad and the leadership, all those seniors that you have at the top of the lineup, that when it comes down to it, they can kind of flip a switch and get it done for you?
Yeah, no, I've been really excited about that. And I think the most important thing is we've kind of struggled through the season with that. You know, the players could have really just given up, and they've done just the opposite, and they've really just bonded together. And, you know, as we always talk, we've preached family, and they've really just come together as a family. And, you know, they know what's on the line, and I think they can all live up to that pressure. And, of course, we have 9 amazing young women that will end their career here at Georgia College in the next few weeks, hopefully, and hopefully we'll continue on. But, you know, they really want to, they've put their mark on the program, and I know they really want to leave their mark on the program, and then everyone else just wants to play so hard for them to give them, you know, the best ending to their career as possible. So it says a lot about the program, and we're just really, how we've really come together and overcome adversity, and it's been character building. So I think we've all learned a lot.
The fitness level of the squad must be very high too. I know you mentioned losing a couple of folks to injury. Your roster seems to be thinning almost on the daily basis, sort of like my hairline.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, you know, what are the things that you do as a coach to make sure that you still have legs at this point in the season?
Well, I think, you know, we started with 27 players, and I truly believe in developing at this program. And so, you know, throughout the season, everyone is getting time. Our brand new freshmen are getting time. And what that does is it really kind of saves the bodies early in the season, because as we get down the stretch, you're going to be playing the majority of the same kids up to maybe, you know, 15. And those girls need a lot of time on themselves. So it's all really about tapering. And I've kind of checked the formula over the last couple of years and making sure that we taper. So practices are dropped right now to no longer than 90 minutes to just kind of simulate game time. And then today, you know, everybody played last night, so we've got a nice recovery session going on today. And so it's just really about reading them and seeing how they are doing and how they're balancing their studies and kind of where their mind and bodies are. And, you know, I think myself and Coach Gallagher do a great job at really reading that and kind of tapering the girls.
I know scoring punch was a little bit of an issue for you at portions of the season. There was long stretches of some unfortunate shutouts and things like that. But in the last week or so, you know, last 2 matches in particular, it's been I think up to 11-1 now. I mean, is there something that has changed? Is there a confidence level, or is it just a factor of you know, the competition, or is it, you know, all the above?
I think it's all the above. Absolutely. I mean, we were definitely in a scoring drought, to say, and a little bit more confident. And as a coach, I think, you know, I'm constantly trying to build that confidence, so we don't want to put a lot of pressure on that scoring scenario, and you just kind of hope that it will come to fruition at some point, and no better time than right now for it to actually come. So I think the confidence on the girls is really kind of coming together, but more so too, just keeping clean sheets lately for us has been huge this season, and so I think that's a lot of you know, a great sense on the defense, and that they're doing their job. And then offensively, you know, we are constant competition in practice, offense against defense, so they really like to battle that out. And you know, I like to, you know, razz them about it a little bit, but you know, they all have their own pride, and I think, you know, hopefully the confidence is really coming together now that we're putting those goals in, and you know, we're seeing goals from a lot of players, so that's even better right now.
Yeah, the balance there, and the ability to score from multiple positions makes it that much tougher to defend, I gotta imagine. Of course, last home game of the season coming up Saturday, again, 3 p.m. Bobcat Field. We'll see you out there. Tell us, we got a big crop of seniors. Absolutely. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was your first batch of recruits as well here at Georgia College. So, I mean, this is kind of a special bunch for you. I mean, what have you gotten out of these guys over the last 4 years? Oh my gosh, amazing things, amazing things. You know, we have players that are holding, you know, school records, and, you know, or top 5 in the school records, and just it's just, most importantly, in the bigger picture, it's been amazing to see how they've really grown into amazing young women, and what they're really about to do. I mean, we're going to have a Bobcat wedding in April, and we're really excited about that. And it's really about the bigger things, but I tell you what, they've been an amazing group from day one for us, and very proud of them. I mean, some of these young women I've known since the age of 10 and 11. And so, yeah, I hope I keep my emotions in check on Saturday for them. But, yeah, it's a special group. And looking forward again to that Saturday matchup. It's against Flagler. Yeah. They're ahead of us in the standings, as we mentioned a couple of times. Normally a very solid squad down there in St. Augustine. I mean, tell me what you can expect out of the Saints this weekend. It's going to be a battle, because it's the same scenario for them. It's a win or go home, and so they are coming to play. I think I'm quite confident just in the ability that we've both had a tough season, but we're both playing well down the stretch. So there's no doubt they are coming here to play and to prove a point. And you know, we dropped the game last year down there at their senior night, and but I am far more confident in our program, and what we're about to do on Saturday is going to be something very special. So I'm very confident in what we have, you know, an opportunity to get into this conference tournament. And then, like we always say, just like last year, everybody it's scratch, 0-0-0, and hopefully we can start peaking again at the right time and have a great run in the conference tournament. But we got to get that W on Saturday, but very confident in our young women. Well, check that confidence this weekend. We'll be right back after a short break with senior Rebekah Autry in just a moment.
No están nada mal.
¿Y qué tiene de raro? Bueno, la práctica hace el maestro.
No tienes que ser perfecto para ser un padre perfecto. Hay miles de adolescentes en foster care que no necesitan perfección. Te necesitan a ti.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
Hey Bobcat Nation, we're back here with Rebekah Autry, a senior from Winder, Georgia, Winder Barrow High School. Tell me a little bit about the soccer season. I know we had some ups and downs, but it looks like the upswing at the most important time of the year, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a repeat of last year almost. It's been a tough season. It's always tough for us, but the girls have been really resilient. It's just good I think it's good to have the adversity because we respond to it so well. And for us to be peaking at the end of the season, I mean, there's no better time to peak. So hopefully it promises good things for us.
Well, you know, from that playoff run last year to, I mean, all the way to a runner-up spot for the first time in school history, that adversity is going to come. You know, not everything's going to line up correctly for you. You know how you plan it out, and you guys have responded well to that. What do you think it makes your makeup as such that you can do that as a group?
I just think that the overall attitude of the team, we're always so positive with each other, and if someone's having a bad day, we're there to pick each other up. And I think just the composite of all these girls together, I mean, we just have each other's back on everything. So at the end of the day, I think that there's no better group to face the adversity than ours.
The position that you play, midfield, and the work that you do there, the transition is difficult, I know, from offense to defense and when to do what. I know you had some big goals for us this season, in particular, a game winner that was pretty slick off a corner. Tell me about, you know, how you can play the full field and know when your role is to do which. Does that make sense?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, it's just
my
really
son is playing youth soccer right now.
Okay.
And he was playing in a scrimmage, his very first scrimmage, and at one point he stopped and yelled, "There's so much turning in this sport." He didn't like it. 8 years old, not a big fan of all the turning. So are you okay with all the turning that happens?
I'm okay with all the turning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just something you have to do. You know, if the player's coming at you and you're the closest one, you just know when to go, and your teammates are going to tell you what they want from you. So the communication is really helpful, especially in the midfield, of tracking and say, like, the people behind you say, "Hey, get that player," and then of course on offense you got to support your players as they're going forward. So it's just kind of moving where the ball goes.
Okay, so I mean, is there anything based upon scouting reports or anything like that you know, a team have certain tendencies that makes your role more defensive or offensive? Do you take cues from coach? I mean, do things come into play that way as well? Yeah,
definitely. Coach will tell me, you know, what kind of players they have, if they have a specific target forward that's good in the air that I need to watch out for, or if they have one person that they try and get the ball to that's really their facilitator, we'll definitely know where she is on the field at all times. So.
How about your recruiting process? I mean, we talked a little bit about that off air, fairly unique. I mean, you were already a student here at Georgia College and tried out a couple of weeks into the season. Yep. How did that process go, and how did you make contact with coach, and you know, how did that go down?
Well, yeah, I didn't play my freshman year. I just kind of wanted some time off, and I really missed it at the end of that year. So over the summer, before my sophomore year, I emailed coach and I was like, "Hey, I'm interested in trying out for the team." And she responded back telling me to come to practice one day. So, and it was after their preseason. So I just came out to a training session and I practiced with them, and then I made the team.
Was it something that you felt right away was a good fit for you, or were you coming out to the field and thinking, I don't know if I got it here?
Well, honestly, I was kind of nervous. I didn't know any of the players before that. So I was just kind of on my own, and but they made me feel at home right away. They were all really nice, and I'm kind of a shy person, so they kind of came to me, and just from the get-go, I knew I'd made the right decision. So.
Switching gears to the academics, I know you're an English major, and what do you have planned after graduation here?
Well, actually, this came up last week. My old high school coach wants to have me help coach soccer there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that is a recent development. So I'm wanting to get my teaching certificate and become an English teacher.
Oh, okay. So a little teacher coach thing and do that. That's very nice. And that's again up at Winder Barrow, right? Okay. Tell me about soccer and how do you think it has helped you achieve your collegiate goals? I mean, do you have trouble with balancing that academic element with the on-the-field play and the travel and all those sorts of fun things that you guys get to do?
Honestly, I think it's helped with time management for sure, because I tend to procrastinate a little bit. So knowing that I have only a certain amount of time to do things because of soccer, that's really helped me, you know, stay on top of my academics and everything.
We alluded to an upcoming wedding, and that's coming up here in April. And tell me a little bit about that, too. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of college students that are going through their senior year and also having to plan a wedding.
That's true. Well, planning's fun. I get to pick out all the colors and all the decorations and everything. And my fiance's been great helping me with everything. And he was a student here, too. So he graduated in May. And I'm really excited. The whole team's going to be there. So
Awesome. That's awesome.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, tell me where you registered so we can get the folks at home to buy you some stuff.
Bed Bath & Beyond and Target.
Okay. So look for the Autry wedding at Bed Bath & Beyond and at Target, and get yourself some stuff here for the Autry wedding. Now, tell me again, if you're looking toward the end of this season, we've got a play-in style game here coming up Saturday.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of emotions high, and if you guys can't get it up for that type of game, you're not gonna, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're definitely. I can't imagine the locker room atmosphere before the game. It's going to be awesome. I mean, 9 of us are leaving, so we really know we've got to win this game. So it is playoffs. We've got an extra round of playoffs for us because we have to beat Flagler to get into the actual tournament. So we all know it's at stake, and we all know what's on the line. So I know we're going to rise to the occasion.
Now, the difference in the last couple weeks to me has been the goal scoring and the ability to finish. Is it? I talked about it with Coach Clark, and you can tell me something different. I won't let her know. Is it purely just a little bit of extra luck happening? Are you guys in a better scoring position now? What's the difference?
Well, lately, I think our practices have just picked up really nicely. We've been working on pattern work, offense versus defense. So, I mean, there are 1-2 combinations, and just movement off the ball has been really good, and it's made it harder for the defense at practice. So they're challenging both sides of us. And I think finally everything's just coming together, and we're clicking at the right time. So.
Well, hopefully we'll do some clicking this weekend. Got our last home soccer match coming up 3 p.m. on Saturday against Flagler. Going to be senior day for all of those seniors, as well as playoff implications on the line. And we've got Lindsey Knott coming up after the break. Thanks for being with us, Rebekah.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back with another senior, Lindsey Knott.
Did you take your medicine?
Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse,
Need a claim number?
her personal assistant,
Let me just grab a...
her housekeeper, her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
Hey, Bobcat fans, Al Weston. We're back after the break. We've got Lindsey Knott. Thanks for being with us, Lindsey.
You're welcome.
All right, so I think we got you for the first time for any type of interview like this.
I
This will
think
be very
so.
exciting. As a senior, it's about time we got it done,
I know.
right? Okay, so from nearby Macon and Mount DeSales High School, tell me what's your major here at Georgia College?
My major is biology.
And as we talked off air, why do you want to do that to yourself? That's a very tough major here at Georgia College.
I actually get that question a lot. My roommate the other day, she came home, she goes, I feel like all you do is homework. I'm like, well, I know, I have a hard major, but I'm pre-med, so that was my motivation for being a biology major, and I love it, and I just really got into it when I got here. I actually came in undecided, but then after about a year, I had been taking biology classes and decided I really that's what I wanted to do.
All right. Well, the next step, you mentioned pre-med. Are you looking at medical school or not quite yet?
I'm looking. I will apply next summer, so
Okay.
I'm still in the process of it.
I know that the Southeast, quite a few options and some pretty good ones around
We
here.
had some good ones in Georgia too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
looking
Okay.
for that.
Well, yeah, that should be fun. Pre-med, is there a particular type of medical field you have an interest in?
I'm actually interested a lot in orthopedics. I did a lot of shadowing last summer, and I think soccer's had a lot to do with that too, because being around just athletic training, that's been a big influence in my life. So that's the way I'm headed right now.
Well, keeping those student athletes back on the field, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I like it. Well, okay, so looking into this weekend, we've played a pretty tough season, and some ups and downs, but it looks like we're on an upswing right now. How is morale in the locker room? Or is everybody pretty excited about the things that are in front of us? What's on our plate? We hold our own destiny at this point.
Yeah, we're always excited, and we always keep the morale up. I think that's never really been a problem for us. We always push through, and we're always resilient and know how to get through.
I think we got resilient as a common theme here. I think Hope Clark, the head coach off camera here, I've heard that a few times. I think that must be on a poster in the locker room. All right, so tell me about what resiliency means to Georgia College soccer. How do you go day in, day out of showing what that means?
I think just in practice every day, making sure that we're working as hard as we can, and even if we come off a loss, making sure that we're always preparing for the next game, and forgetting about the last game and putting our minds to the next one. And I think that's really important in keeping our confidence up and making sure that we can go into the next game with as much confidence as we can. It
is such a quick season, it seems. Sometimes there's 3 matches in a week, and it seems like we just got things rolling senior season-wise. You've been here for 4 years. How has Georgia College changed? How has the GC soccer program changed in your 4 years here at Georgia College?
I think it's changed for the better, I would say. I think that not in a bad way that it was not good before. I think we've always been good, and we've always had a good team, but I think that just our culture and the team, we're all a lot closer. I've noticed that as we've gone on, like our team, we always have each other's backs, and we love each other so much, and I think that's one of the best things about our team, is that we are all best friends. We really are.
That close-knit group, and that's key. Part of that close-knit group is a fellow high school teammate, and Abby Dalton. Was that part of the game plan when you were looking around at colleges to
we
be
get
able
asked
to
that
continue
all
to
the
play
time. I think it started just because we played on the same club team, so we got looked at by the same schools, and we would go on visits together, and so that just really, when we would go together and we would talk about it and we'd be influenced, and she's my best friend, so it definitely was influence and we kind of decided together to go to the same place, so it was a part of it.
And I know Abby also is an athletic training major, so there's a potential of you guys continuing to work together in the future with your orthopedics.
We talk about that all the time. Like, we can refer patients to each other.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Now, being with someone for that extended period of time, you've had you'll be your second senior day together. What is it about Abby's game in particular that makes her such a special piece of Georgia College athletics? I'm going to make you talk about it too.
That's fine. I think that her leadership is part of it, and also just her ability to always work as hard as she can. She's always giving 100% and nothing less. And I think that is a big influence on the rest of the team, that she's always giving 100% and being that impact player.
And I know in your 4 years, one of the impacts that you've had has been academically. I know that's always been a strong suit for you. You've got plenty of Peach Belt honors as far as academia goes. And, how do you maintain the balance between, what is, as we've mentioned, a pretty rigorous season with lots of travel and practices night in and night out, and, bus trips and all that sort of thing. A tough biology major, other than, as your roommate says, studying all the time. How do you make that happen all together?
It's definitely gotten harder as the years have gone on. This year has been very tough, but I think that just making sure that I'm always on top of things, making sure that I manage my time very well, and we have study hall twice a week, make sure that we're right into studying after practice, and really gets you in switching modes and making sure that you're on top of your work, and I think that's been very important for me, make sure that I'm on top of everything.
The soccer thing, when did that start for you? Was it as a youth, or did it come later?
Yeah, I was about 10 years old when I started, I think.
And what was the time frame for you when you started to say, hey, I'm pretty skilled at this thing. I might be able to, to do this at the next level and play it collegiately?
I think part of it when I first was playing in Macon, and then I switched and went to Atlanta to play for my club team, and the coaches there really influenced me, like saying, you need to be trying to go to the next level, and really showed that wanted to tell us that we could move on to that next level.
Gotcha. Well, got a big weekend coming up. Got Flagler coming to town. It's the final home game of the regular season for Georgia College soccer. We hope that season continues. All we got to do is win a match, right? Just that simple. So we'll put that together Saturday, 3 p.m. Come see Lindsey Knott and the rest of the seniors receive their pregame accolades, and then hopefully a win against the Saints. If you can't make it, check gcbobcats.com for the live audio stream and live statistics of the contest. But we hope to see you out there on Saturday at 3 p.m. For Lindsey Knott, for Hope Clark, for Rebekah Autry, that was a full show there. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the match on Saturday.